Hello everyone, welcome to my Frogcast. Today we're doing it for my game, which is hosted on Thursdays. Um, as usual, we're starting in the east with my own country, PRC, which is currently subbed by Monkey Man this last session. Um, PRC is in, as you can tell, an exceptionally good position with owning the majority of China and all of the good devable stuff aside from a few farmlands down here. This country is very rich, and the income is only set to go up as trade ideas are filled, and uh, is looking to be a strong country. It's got a force limit of 671 and a merc force limit of 360 due to the mission that we got. Yeah, plus 35% available mercenaries, which is rather strong, which is why I decided to go trade over admin or diplo. But yeah, that's really it for my own country. It's a tad underbuilt in terms of conscription camps, with none of them being built. But that'll be fixed soon enough. Same with these guys. But yeah, university-wise, it's looking good. They're where I need to dev, so stuff's gonna be good, you know. Monkey Man accidentally took the wrong reform, so had to switch it to root out the corruption, but that's fine. But yeah, that's really it. Next country is gonna be Malacca. Malacca is one of the naval terrorists. However, they're more the lower down version, with being the weaker of the two. Mainly due to not having full naval ideas, instead choosing to go for a quality quantity offensive build. And when you're in an island like this and not doing shit most of the game, it doesn't really make much sense. But that's just my 2 cents. Um, build up wise, there's manufactories everywhere. It's looking good. Naval build up wise, you don't have many shipyards, and you've got no dry docks effectively. So your naval force limit is fairly low for an island nation, and currently fighting a war against Sweden for New World stuff that you can't see, which is never a good idea because of you can't see where his fucking troops are, yeah, which is always dangerous. What you should do is you should be spying on Sweden, so that you can steal maps, so you can get a sight on what you're fighting for. Um, but yeah, that's really it for Malacca. They've got a fairly small force limit, and their army is really weak, with only 4.5 morale and 120 discipline. Um, Government reforms, they've gone for trading ones instead of this stuff, which is a mistake in my opinion, because this one is just 5% trade efficiency. The trade range doesn't matter. Um, but the 10% 15% manpower here really does matter. You'd have a lot more manpower if you had that. Also, you should have eaten into Q high whilst they weren't protected, because Eldrick told me he wasn't showing up. He wanted to play Stellaris instead or something. But yeah, that's it for Malacca. Pasai. Pasai is the larger, more scary cousin of the Malaccans, and is currently, as mentioned earlier, fighting this war against Sweden for Shetland. If they get a couple of occupations somewhere, they should be able to stab it out. And Burgundy is currently fighting them as well. I'm really not sure why Russia's in this, but I'll talk about Russia when I get to it. It'll be one of the later countries. Psy is a tad bit over his naval, his leader thing, which is costing him precious mill points. Idea-wise, he's got an exploration quality, economic naval maritime, which is literally the perfect naval meme build. giving him 20 naval morale, 50% privateer efficiency, and 20 global naval engagement. Plus, of course, other standard stuff. And he's getting another 50% privateer efficiency when he fills out offensive. Just literally the only reason to go offensive, so he can just privateer more, which is just a big dick move in my opinion. He's also not even privateering efficiently. He's got just 80 in Lubeck, shattering the value of it, sure, but Sweden is simply just collecting everywhere, you know? So it doesn't do anything. You need to privateer all of them or none of them, because he can just collect everywhere, and it means you're just wasting sailors. And you're pretty close to losing sailors at the moment. But yeah, Pasai is in a pretty decent spot. It's got a lot of light ships and a lot of heavy ships, and naval build-up wise, it's quite a few shipyards, but there are still more that need to be built. And I click there just instinctively, man. Dry dock wise, there's still some like here that you want. Like this stuff is good dip def, you know. I'd delete the temple here, and oh look at that, you've got another. How much would that even give you? Oh, wrong button. That would give you 600. You know, it's not much in the grand scheme of things, but it's still there, and it's still worth building. But yeah, that's really it for these naval memes. Nepal. Nepal is up to nearly 800,000 maximum manpower, and is the strongest country in India. His army composition is a bit strange to say the least, because he's got random stacks with a random amount of cannons. You need to put your cannons into one stack ideally though. How many cannons have you running at the moment? Two stacks. Ideally you'd make a third, because Ottomans can easily run three and just outflank you and outmaneuver you. Build up wise, this country is still doing strong despite its earlier mishaps. Although it's not got any conscription centres, so its force limit is a tiny bit lacking at the moment. And training fields, though, it's almost completely where they need to be done. But yeah, this is a very strong country, considering it's an Indian country that owns Persia, which is not exactly known as the best region for deving. As you can see, you know, build-up wise, there's only a couple things that need to be built. Universities are literally everywhere that you'd want to dev. You don't want to dev here. Like, I'd say this is like the worst area in the world for deving, because it's all mountains, which, although actually that's a lie. Right here is the worst area in the world for deving. That's not Africa. And that is because it is jungle and it's tropical. So that's plus 50%. This is same as these deserts right here. Except it's all over the place, which is so annoying. But yeah, it's a very rich country, 500 income. Not sure why it's got so much corruption. Maybe it switched to reform. But you shouldn't be filling out trade. You need admin or you need Diplo. In my opinion, admin is superior. I'm sure Jarvan would disagree and call me a noob or something. But look here, gives you interest per annum so you can loan some more. And it gives you more mercs, what's there not to love? Alright, now, I'm gonna roast you for the fort setup here. This fort here is free war score for Malcolm. He just declares on you, he puts his armies here, 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 and he sits on the 5, 6, 10k cannons here, and some and boom, you can't defend this fort. It's literally just free war score. No, if you had like this land here, it would be alright if you had forts here and etc. For the time being, it's just not worthwhile at all. But yeah, you're making quite a bit of money in Persia, and a lot of money in Lahore. I don't think I've ever seen Lahore used this effectively. You getting money for Gujarat stealing trade? No, you're not. He's just nicking your trade, and there's nothing you can do. But yeah, that's really it for Nepal. So, Moa. I looked at these countries before I made the Frogcast, so I know what I'm going to say already. But they've got max manpower, and they're nowhere near force limit. I'm not sure why Jamie's doing this. I'm not sure why he's paying for his army, but he's mothballing his forts. You know, forts, they cost him 36 a month. This costs him 113. You know, he just does that, and bada bing, bada boom. Right? Ideally, he'd build a bunch of troops right now and have proper cannon stacks. 'Cause at the moment, 66 cannons is less than ideal because the combat width is now up to 36. This is the point where I'd be making 40 cannon stacks with 40 cannons in them. Not 40 cannon stacks, that'd be absurd. But cannon stacks that are a lot bigger than they currently are. Because of the combat width just keeps going up from this point, and there's no point having less. You know, like the next one's at 24 and then 26. There's literally just 2 techs and then 4. You know? And just updating in the middle of a war is really weird to do. But yeah, this country just needs to have more troops recruited. Really, build up wise, it's literally god tier. Everything's built. You know, so from like one training field here that's in a vassal, and the rest of the line just needs to be devved a bit. You know, and it's an Indian. He's got the Vashias loyal, so that's pretty good. He can do this in 1687, so this will dip down before then. But I think he's got a switch inbound. No, he can't. But when this ruler dies, which is actually going to be in quite a while, it'll be good. Ideally, you demarch these and integrate them. It's hills. It's only plus 25% to dev compared to the jungles and shit here, which are plus 35. You know, and same with this guy here. You know, and this cloth even, so it's minus 10% dev cost on top of it. So it's worth it to dev this stuff. Yeah. For this, I'd just go with this because you've got a lot of forts on Vijayanagar's border, and ideally you just build up a bunch of troops right now and declare on Vijayanagar. Like I'm looking at fort levels here. He's really not got enough to defend himself. He's got like this, and then you can siege all of this for free in effect. So yeah, and at that point he's bankrupting and dying. You'd need 3 cannon stacks to do this alone, but that's not really an issue. Um, but yeah, so Miwa's a fairly well managed country, and I appreciate Walrus if you're watching this. Thank you for subbing my mans. I really appreciate it with everyone telling me they can't fucking play on the day. Yeah. But yeah, that's really it. Vijayanagar is like Miwa but worse. Um, losing their great power status, which is never fun, and they've lost more land to Miwa. Plus, they can no longer form Deccan because Deccan took the land required. I think they took it in the first war, in fact, so never mind about that. But yeah, fort-wise, it's just not good because of how the country is and how much land has been taken from it. I'd build forts here. I'd build a fort here. I'd build it here. I'd build them here and here and here. I'd definitely build it in Goa and Pure because of the rivers there. So it makes a good defensive fight. Now Vijayanagar is doing a very, very, very bot thing. He's got max manpower. He's got 11k in the bank, and yet he's nowhere near force limit. It's just such a bot thing to do, and it's so stupid and greedy for something you've got infinite of. You know, you're fully built. You know, your income's doing good. You know, you don't need the money no more. What you do need is tropes. You can fight more. Um, yeah, like just build these guys, and also the template is 36 now, not 34. So your cannon stacks are a tinty bit outdated. Speaking of cannon stacks, Vijayanagar's gone for the better move of having 2 as well. It's need more country with 3 cannon stacks, and I'm gonna have 3 on her. But Vijayanagar definitely should for fighting more in this shitty ass region. Build up wise, it's really good. Because they've just been sat there for a session, just building buildings and hoarding money. If he was underbuilt and he had 11k in the bank, he'd get very hard flamed. But at the moment, it's fine as it is. Cormandel's making him a lot of money with but lots of it is being stolen as well from Noir. Because he doesn't have full control of the Khan. In fact, he's only got level 2 sense of trade here, which is a mistake in my opinion. You'd rather have the I'm guessing you're having this one for that. And also, you haven't devved Patna all the way, yeah? Pepe hands. Can you religion swap? You can, okay. So what you want to do is with these mill points, you do this, you make these guys loyal. See that is 17 for Shia's University. Encourage development. Above is 4 to dev again. Just do that. It's cotton, which is minus 10%. It's for Shia's, it's level 3 central trade. It's grasslands, lovely stuff for deving my mans. You know. But yeah, other than that, like, you just need to dev a bunch, which is easy with Vashias. It's like the most brain dead deving you can do. But yeah, that's really that's it for India, to be honest. Vijayanagar is probably going to die. Moira's proven time and time again that they're a better player. Um, so there doesn't stand a chance at this point. And this is a very strong Mawar. It's good to see a Mawar that's strong like this. You don't see it very often. Normally it's Vijayanagar or Nepal that's strong, but this Mawar is outclassing everyone, to say the least. But yeah, um, Bachua. Bachua is an African country. They've expanded beyond the Sahara, and they're amassing troops on the Ottoman border, monk ass. However, this could be due to rebels or other reasons. They haven't taken my advice and dropped expansion yet, which is very for pay, and they're taking trade ideas. Bruh. Bruh. Like, come on, bruh. Bruh. Like, weak countries shouldn't go trade ideas. It just solidifies their death. Although, build-up wise, it's pretty suboptimal. Um, but I guess there's really not much to build in this shitty land. University wise, suboptimal. I think there's a good province down here to dev. Yeah, look at this stuff. It's drylands down here. Drylands, steppes, drylands. And it's not even arid. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Like, just build a university here. And dev it to 10. Like, it's already 22. And that's without dev cost edict. That's without burgers being loyal. It's good stuff, Next dev cycle is going to be 94, which is a really long time away. So you're going to be capping on mill points before then. And you're filling trade ideas whilst you're capping on admin. Just take admin ideas. You don't even have like you've got 18 territories. But yeah, Bachua's a very strong country for an African country. You rarely see African countries this strong. And I'm going to mention this again, but Bachuan ideas are nutty. It's good stuff. Good stuff. But yeah, there's not really much to say about this country. Um, Other than he's built like every single workshop that's possible to worth build. Um, but yeah, um, Ottomans. Once again, Malcolm is botting. He's got 2,000 ducats in the bank. He's got max manpower, and he's not at his force limit. Yeah, like plus he's severely underbuilt in terms of conscription centers. So his force limit isn't even that great. If he builds all of those conscription centers, no, his force limit goes up by. Wait, how many provinces does he have? 201. His force limit goes up by 250 or so, and he's got 1,000 force limit. And bada bing, bada boom. He's a strong country. He's got a million manpower, 12k recovery. Orthodox Ottomans strong, by the way. Manufacturing wise, it's really good. He's built them everywhere. He's also finally eating this fucking AI that's taken him like 6 years to decide to eat. He's taking admin ideas, which is smart. He's going to have a lot more monarchs than Nepal for the next war, if that happens, though I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. He's got loyal burghers, so he wants to dev whilst he still can. Once these get to like 60, I just take this. Next time you can make them loyal is in 96, so I dev everything you can before those two go away. He's got mill focus, which is good, even though he's filling out admin. Once the burghers are disloyal, though, I would switch to admin focus to fill it out faster. Um, he's he decided to gank Hesse and Tuscany and Switzerland to take some shit lands that he's not going to state ever because he's got 17 territories and there's other stuff to say. I guess he could say like this, but still ganking a tiny Switzerland that's a noob is just like it's just distasteful, you know, it's rude. And like you could have just let them fight out, let all of Europe bankrupt instead of allying with France, Ruthenia, Russia. It's just Malcolm sending his troops where they're not wanted again. Um, but yeah, there's not really much to say about Ottomans. His troops are very spread out. So if Nepal goes on a focused attack, assaults this fort, takes this and this, Malcolm cannot respond in time. He can't recruit enough mercs, and he can push all the way through Anatolia, like up to Biga even, because he hasn't even got a fort in Isil at the moment. They're literally just undefended, only one layer of forts, which is never a good stuff. Especially when you were sitting on 11k, 11k money. Constantinople is very rich at the moment as well. It's not even hunting pirates. He was doing that. Um, you wouldn't be losing anyway. But yeah, it's a bot country. It's Malcolm. You know, what can I say? It's, university-wise, I saw him deving some fucking ass highlands over here. When he's got woods here that are more worthwhile in terms of deving, because highlands is plus 20% dev cost, whilst woods is plus 15%. This is accepted culture. This is orthodox. You know, it's it's livestock. So if you start trading in it, you get more force limit. Um, Same with grain, good stuff. Yeah, encourage development. Bada bing, bada boom. 16 to dev. He's popped his golden arrow really early, but I think that was previous player, so you can't use that for deving at the moment, which is weird chimp. But yeah, this country just needs to dev more optimally, and he's finally integrating Crimea. Finally, finally, finally. You know, there's some good land here, like Theodora, and this, yeah, like steps are even worth deving because it's plus 20%. It's much more worth it than deving in mountains and shit, which is what Malcolm's been doing, by the way. They're literally choosing to dev mountains over woods and hills. No, it's fucking bot man. Like he's got 13 dev grasslands here. SMH my head. He's got a marketplace built there for some reason. He's not even collecting in Ragusa. SMH my head. Just build universities here, dev here. You know. Coastline not really worth it to be honest, but you've still got undev grasslands, which is just always weird. And an undev farmland. That's 16 dev. It's farmland. You can get a level 3 central trade there, and it's cloth. Like, there's literally no better scenario you could ask for. You know? And you're just choosing to dev some fucking mountains in Georgia over it because you're fucking high. Culture-wise, he's annihilated Kurdish. You know, he's a Chad like that. That's just what happens. You know. But yeah, it's a pretty strong country. And aside from Malcolm being a weird champ, it's only going to get stronger. You know, as time goes on, as Malcolm AFK devs more. But yeah, that's it for Ottomans. Um, Andalusia. Andalusia is deciding to int Tuscany for Italy, which is really strange. He's not rooting out corruption. He's not coring his fucking provinces. You know, I think he was tabbed out watching anime again. The fucking degenerate. But yeah, he's decided to help gank Tuscany to get some parts of Italy. And he hasn't even stated this, when Sicily is a fantastic fucking... He's even got spare ass states. That's just disrespectful to someone. You know, killing someone, and then just not stating their land because you're a fucking weeaboo. Yeah. But yeah. I'm really not sure why he's not just rooting out corruption. you know, it means your country is better, and also pay for your armies if you're sitting them on land with unrest, you know. So, but yeah, um, Andalij is in a pretty okay position. Like, I D-state this to D-state stuff in Italy. Benin maybe not because it's good for trade. But yeah, no one else aside from a dead Portugal, who is also in Sevilla, um, has a merchant here. So you're getting all of the Ivory Coast straight into Sevilla. Um, I'm not sure what. I think the main node is Safi at the moment, which is a mistake. You would ideally move it here and collect in Safi, which would make you a bit more money because of the amount that leaks out because of France into Junot. Yeah, this country's very weird, champ. Yeah. It's got fucking undevved stuff up here, which is always strange. Yeah. But most of the land that's worth deving is devved. Though there's still some savannas here, and savanna is only plus 15%. Though it is tropical, so yeah. Also, you're half orthodox, but not all the way. I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure how you fucked up along the way. But you've got separatists everywhere instead of orthodox rebels. So good job, mate. You fucked up. You're a dummy. Mm. And also, he took fucking Songhai ideas over Andalusian. What the fuck? Literally just ruined this shit, man. Okay, no, Sevilla is the main one, yeah. Um, but yeah, this country is just bot ran. Jake isn't really that good at the game, so it makes sense. He's hardly built any universities, so he's been deving this land without them. You built some in the land you plan to dev in, I hope. Encourage development, you get this, guys, you get your burgers. Yeah, I know. 1697, that's when you can dev again properly. Until then, it's going to cost 19 a click. But yeah, Andalasia's just been misplayed horribly, to be honest. Although he's got some colonies, that's pretty cool. Little Jihad, that's cute. Yeah. But yeah, that's really it for Andalasia. On to France. France is the man of the hour. He's a Chad, and he's finally doing something against Burgundy, despite the fact that he ganked Burgundy earlier. And I mean, I guess he's still technically ganking Burgundy. Um, and the fact that he's misplaying this war fucking horribly. Is a Chad. I'll not give him that at least. Huh? Why wouldn't you just do that? I guess you want to dev it a little bit first. But yeah, this country is in terms of development, it's looking pretty good, you know. Um, it's got most of its provinces to 20 development already, with some hills and shit, and mountains at 15 instead. Um, However, one thing that I noticed that would make this stink cry is the fact that most of the provinces in this state are simply 21 development, when instead you can still get the dev cost down a lot. Next dev cycle is in 1695, so you get those loyal, and you still got universities. You delete the shipyards, mate. How many boats do you have? You got fucking, you got 75 light ships, but still delete the shipyards. Just go over your naval force limit, bruv. I'm not sure what you're gonna take from Burgundy. Like, personally, I'd take like this stuff, like a line into Germany, but that would be a bit people weird. So I don't know what your plan is. Um, you're also playing this war in a really fucking stupid way, with 40 army professionalism in the bank, and Burgundy is doing the same thing but with 20 army professionalism instead. Also, Burgundy's got a lot of level 2 forts in the Isles. I mean, a couple of level 6 ones, but still. This country is fully built up in terms of manufactories, and it's collecting a whopping 56 ducats in Bordeaux. This is because of Sweden ghettoing their trade set up and collecting in a Gulf of St. which means that there's no one steering from Gulf of St. Lawrence, so half it goes to Bordeaux. Um, if Burgundy, if France stuck, although I guess they don't have trade range, so never mind actually. They've got most of Champagne now, of course, and they've got most of the trade power there. So they've got level 3 centre trade all over the place, except here. Um, yeah, what this country needs to do is dev its farmlands up to 30, in my opinion. Um, and maybe like kill Tuscany and get the rest of Genoa. I'm entirely unsure what the split here is with Andalusia. But yeah, France is the strongest country in the world right now, thanks to their French musketeers and golden era, um, which means that their troops are insanely powerful at the moment. They've got 7.39 morale, 99.3 army tradition, uh, and 130 discipline with a morale advisor. Um, they're only running a level 1 admin advisor, which is weird because they're filling out admin ideas. I'd go for that. Doesn't matter that you're losing money, like it's because of reinforcements. You're not even mucking up for this war. That's how easy it is for you, you know. Ideally, you'd switch stacks. You'd have this guy sieging there, and this guy sitting on the woods. Because he's gonna take the fight in Anvers. He's building up and to fight and shit. You also, if Fish actually plays next week, which I don't think he will, he doesn't like playing dead countries. He will slacken everything and muck up, or he's gonna die 100%, which means you have to slacken everything and muck up, or you'll lose, which is less than ideal to say the very least. Yeah, it's a very strong country at the moment. Just playing this war suboptimally. Um, yeah, university in every single province, construction centre in most of his provinces, and training fields in most of the places. Ideally, you dev this to 20. Well, it's fairly expensive at the moment because your burghers aren't loyal. You got manpower thingies everywhere, and you had defensive edicts here. I'd switch those to manpower ones by this point. Like, it might not be much manpower dev, but it's still some manpower dev. Yeah. But yeah, other than the not deving Brittany to 30, and not deving your other farmlands to 30, this country is really well managed. With nearly a million manpower. Um, but yeah, so France is probably going to win against Burgundy. So it's France's age now for the next 30 years. 30 years. And until then, he can't be stopped in any war against anyone, and I'm entirely unsure why Ottomans decide to help him in his own age. Just smooth brain play as usual. Um, hmm. But yeah, that's really it for France, to be honest. Like, it's the strongest country in the world right now. But once its age bonus is gone, Ottomans and PRC will be stronger. Although Ottoman's pips are only getting weaker as time goes on. Um, and if this country devs its farmlands and conquers a bunch of land off Burgundy, it'll be a lot stronger. And I'm not sure what France is even going to take in this war. Because of, though as I said, I would go for the German stuff. Yeah, yeah. Because France can do an interesting play here that I figured out entirely by myself. No one told me, you know. But if they get um, these provinces and they move the capital into this area, they can form what was it, Westphalia, I think. Just by having their capital there, without having to culture flip, without having to destate everything, just by moving their capital into this shit. Um, and from that they can rev, and they'll have the same rev tick as everyone else. You know, I figured this out entirely by myself. You know, but yeah, That'd be the ideal play for France. Although I think Ottomans or Ruthenia is going to get Rev, because Malcolm knows how to get Rev. But I don't know if he wants to get it. Um, Andalusia might. Although where's his capital at the moment? In Africa, kind of might he can't Rev. Ideally, the country that would Rev would be Sweden, because it's number 5. You know, he's not very good at the game. You can just hand him a country that's really strong militarily, and he's not going to bully anyone. It's not going to be broken. It's not going to be too strong or whatever. It's just going to be a country, you know. But anyway, on to the worst managed war in the history of wars. You have Burgundy. You've got random fucking cannon stacks, 27k cannons. What is this shit? Like main cannon stack here, going around here. You need to split those cannons up into these two. You've got really good generals. Take the fight in Anvers before he moves away. And you've got 22 army professionalism, you know. Look, you've got a million troops right now, you know. And you can afford them, you know. You can take 144 loans already, you know. Like you just build this, yeah. And this is going to take a really long time to build all of these troops, yeah. But it's going to win you the war if you have a million troops and he doesn't, you know. Like there's no point having that level of army professionalism. Um, but whilst you're in a death war and you've already lost some land to him, you know. And he's also entirely unmerked up, you know. Like just slacken everything, hire those 200 marks, hire 500, 600k manpower, and you win this war. Because although France has got 40 army professionalism, and if he just does the same, he beats you. But you might as well force him to bankrupt and take loans. Because at the moment, he's not going to have to bankrupt to kill you. And you're fighting against 3 people at once at the moment. I'm not sure why Sweden chose to attack you, that's just Papega as fuck. And I'm even more unsure as to why Russia is helping him. Um, but yeah, this is Burgundy, man. He's fucked up. This war is probably already over. France has pushed too far. Economic wise, it's pretty decent. Universities, most of the places, although you need some more in the English channel. Build up wise, good. It's a fish country. I wouldn't expect anything else. Although there's no conscription centres, which I blame Spoda for. No, so the Fourth Summit is a bit lacking. Maybe you want to bankruptcy build them whilst you're in this war. You know, like just to recruit a million troops of manpower troops. Costed you another 8 loans. You know. But yeah, this Burgundy needs to sort out his cannon stacks and fight this war properly. Um, but yeah, that's really. Yeah, shut the fuck up, Spoda. You might be a sub, you know, but you're not fighting this war properly, at all. This war is so mismanaged on both fronts. You know, they both got massive pools of manpower they're not tapping into. Neither of them are murking up, and Burgundy is losing because he's not. If he did so, he'd force France to do so, which could maybe cause France to bankrupt. You know, if he fights hard enough. Um, but yeah, it's Switzerland. Switzerland's a very weak country. It's honestly dead. Um, Tuscany is lost the war to Andalusia and lost the war to Ottomans, and is now fighting fighting France and Straco. It's got very strange cannon stacks, but this guy's a new player, man. It hurts my heart to see people bullying these players. Yeah, like I don't get why Malcolm would do this at all. Mm. He's just bullying someone who's literally new to the game and teaching them nothing along the way. It's just not fun. It's not fair. Um, but yeah, this country's honestly dead because of Malcolm bullying it. But yeah, Hess is another story of the same. You know, it's bullied for being a new player, you know, by Malcolm. I don't understand this at all, not in the slightest. Like this gank on them is just honestly disgusting, you know. And this was Ottomans in as well, and Andalusia. You know, Like, it just doesn't make sense, you know. It's just new players that are being bullied for being new, which is really not what I'd like to see in my games, you know. Ruthenia. Ruthenia's going bankrupt fast. Hesse could maybe outlast him in terms of going bankrupt. And I hope he does, because Google is just ganking Hess. You know, it's so rude, you know. He's not even fully marked up, his force limit is abysmal. His manpower recovery is abysmal. I'm entirely unsure why he's so weak, despite getting this free Ruthenia formation. Got so much land to dev, you know. Like, literally an 11 dev grassland, but you've built nothing on it. Make me sad, man. But yeah, this country is way too weak for the time period, and I thought Googly would be playing it better, but I'm not sure why he isn't. You know, he failed to capitalize on the death of Lithuania and Muscovy, so he's hardly got any land off of that. If he'd have just focused on going east instead of going west, he would be so much stronger. But of course, he didn't. He decided to ally Muscovy. Once taking the land required to form Ruthenia, do nothing with the Kiev node. It's manufacturing-wise, it's depressing, you know, like literally depressing, man. You know, you never want to see it be this high unless you just unlocked a new tech, and you especially don't want to see it for like everything, you know. But yeah, Ruthenia is just a horrible example of a mismanaged country. Um, yeah, that's really it for Ruthenia. Like, I expected better Gurgler. It's honestly a bit saddening. How can he take so few loans? I don't get it. I guess it's just a really fucking bad income. Like 92 income and 1680 is literally dead. You know, I won't return to this. You know, but you do you, Googler, man. Sweden is run by number 5. He's being bullied. He's trying to bully back, but he's failing, of course. Um, Last country is going to be Russia. I think that'll be everyone. Yeah, but yeah, Sweden is accruing quite the debt, but he can pay this off. He is giving most of his money to Russia for some reason, which doesn't make much sense to me, at least, because Russia's only steering you like 7 ducats at the moment. But yeah, you're paying far too much money for Russia. I guess it's to help you in this war. Maybe that's it. But Russia's going bankrupt anyways. Like no, although he's 8k in debt, but his income is like 80 or something. We'll have a look at him in a second. Um, but yeah, this is a very strange set of wars. He attacked Burgundy when Burgundy was being ganked, called in Russia. Fucking Russia, you know, against a Burgundy fighting the world, you know. It's just depressing stuff, you know. I'm really disappointed with how Eastern Europe has turned out. Stack-wise, it's really fucking strange, but it's number 5, so like random ass cannons everywhere. Um, doesn't have enough of them in the New World. Like, if he had a New World cannon stack, he'd win that. And he's got the manpower for it. He's nearly at his cap. He's popped his morale mission for some reason. And, he hasn't popped this for some reason as well. But yeah, it's just a mismanaged country. But it's number 5, man. What can I expect? He's filling out quantity, so he's maybe finally, probably not gonna do some deving. Um, like this stuff up here is alright for deving. Like there's 9 dev grasslands here. Shipyards, and that's the land that you've owned the entire game. Why would you build a fucking shipyard? But no universities. Yeah, and no regimental camps. Like you've hardly got any. It's just fucked, man. Yeah. Like this country is just so weak in terms of build up. Despite killing Muscovy early on, um, what you should have done is um, you should have fucking culture converted everything to Novgorodian, um, and killed Uzbek instead of letting him form Russia, and then formed Russia yourself. You'd be so much stronger right now. No. And you wouldn't be inting Burgundy for no reason. But yeah, that's just like it's honestly depressing what happened to these countries. You know, like fucking Ottomans fighting this shit when they're already fighting France, Ruthenia, Sweden, and Andalusia as well. Like it's just fucked. Yeah. But yeah, um, Russia. Russia is the Pepega of the hour. He's got 300k max manpower in 1680. Although his income's a bit better than what I expected, but he's already about a quarter of the way into his loan cap. He's got 20 army professionalism. Is he murking in this war? I really hope not. Nope, he's just over his force limit. Um, Ideally, you turn your armies off and you go home. There's no reason for you to be fighting Burgundy. Yeah. Ideally, you'd fight PRC, but they're just so much stronger than you. It makes no sense to. And you'd kill Sweden and get another good trade for yourself instead of letting Sweden have literally all of it. This country's very weak, and there's pretty much zero build up. You know, like what's the use of subsidies when your country is a barren wasteland? It's not worth conquering. Literally 2 universities. You know, and it's not even in like the best land to dev. You know, like you got grasslands up here for 9 devs still. It's just a shame what's happened to this country. I wish Commandante had been able to play it for the rest of the game, because it would have been actually interesting. But unfortunately, I had to stop, and I've had to find random players to play it instead. Like my roster has pretty much gone to shit. Also, you can just march troops down and siege this shit. Um, they're not even blocking the straits at the moment. If you just send a proper cannon stack, force march it, and they don't notice, you can just cross that and wipe them, and kill Pasai straight up and just occupy all of this shit. But yeah, I'm sure the Pasai Perm will notice that and amend it. But yeah, this Russia's really, really weak. Um, and that's it for my Frogcast. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you have a wonderful week and you don't sound too fucked from the quarantine.